Morning, friend. Brian Hopkins from Bayside, Folsom. Can I ask you a question? How great do you want to be? And I bet that most of you answer that question by saying, I want to be really, really great, don't you? We all say, I want to be a great athlete. I want to be a great parent. I want to be a great employee. I want to be a great student. I want to be a great boss. I want to be a great spouse. On and on and on. Of course, we all want to be really great. But here's the real question. Have you ever considered what the path to greatness looks like? One day someone asked Jesus what it took to be really great, and his answer is pretty surprising. Matthew chapter 20, verse 26, here's what the Bible says. Whoever wants to be great among you must be your servant. That's Jesus telling us that the path to greatness, the way to greatness, requires that we put a serving towel over our arm and serve. And for some of us, serving can be an unpleasant, uncomfortable, stretching experience, can't it? I was in Ethiopia the other day helping our oldest son's 5 siblings, and it was time to come home. I was thoroughly exhausted. It took 2 days to get there. I was there for 4 nights. I hardly slept. I ate nothing but goat meat for 4 days. My belly did not feel all that great, and it was time for my flight. Ready for this? Addis Ababa to Chicago, 19 hours. I was so tired. I just wanted to get on that plane, plop into my seat, plug my headphones in, and do the airplane sleep thing, in and out of sleep. I'm way in the back of the plane. I'm making my way back, but I know I have an aisle seat. I'm getting closer and closer to my seat, and I all of a sudden notice that there's a flight attendant standing in my seat. And I'm going, oh my word, I don't have time for this. I'm so tired. I just want to sit down in my seat. As I got to my row, I noticed a little girl. She was about 5, sitting in the middle seat, the flight attendant standing in my seat. And the flight attendant said, sir, this little girl's dad is seated in the row ahead of you in the middle seat. His daughter is assigned to this middle seat next to you. Is there any way that you would trade seats with her dad so he could sit with his daughter? Now, it was the middle of the night. I was a little rummy, so I repeated it back to the flight attendant. So you're asking me to give up my aisle seat in exchange for a middle seat on a 19-hour flight? Yes, sir, that's correct, she answered. And here's my reply. I'm a really nice guy. I usually do almost anything for almost anyone, but I'm just not prepared to do 19 hours in a middle seat. And I know, as those words came out of my mouth, I felt so ashamed. You're judging me right now, as a matter of fact. I felt like some entitled juvenile. So I said, ma'am, if you find me any other aisle seat on this entire plane, I'll go there. I don't care where it is, especially way up front would be awesome. She shot back, I'll check, sir, but this is a completely full flight. I don't think that's going to be possible. So I sat down in my aisle seat, little girl sitting next to me on the verge of tears. Dad won't stop staring at me. I'm trying hard not to make eye contact. And now it's almost time to go. They're closing the overhead bins. They're starting the safety briefing. They're moving the plane back from the gate. And the flight attendant comes back and says, sir, I don't have another aisle seat on this entire plane. What are you going to do? Hardly believing the words that were about to come out of my mouth, I said, that's okay. I'd be happy to trade seats with this gentleman. I grabbed my bag, I slumped into my new middle seat, and you know what? I was fine. Look, I made it. I didn't die. Friend, we all want to be really great, don't we? But just like Jesus tells us, the path to greatness means that we've got to get up out of our lazy boy, out of our aisle seat, and get our hands dirty serving. I'll bet that today God's putting someone smack dab in front of you and asking you to serve them. Will you just say yes?